Have you ever felt like something was off, like reality itself was glitching? You're not alone. The idea that our universe might be a simulation has captivated thinkers for centuries. It's a mind-bending concept, but one that's gaining traction in the realms of science and philosophy. The term simulation hypothesis was popularized by philosopher Nick Bostrom in 2003. But the idea itself is much older. Think about it. We create simulations all the time. Video games, flight simulators, even sophisticated computer models of the weather. As technology advances, these simulations become increasingly complex and realistic. So, is it so far-fetched to imagine a civilization far more advanced than ours creating a simulation indistinguishable from reality? A simulation so sophisticated that we, the simulated beings within it, are completely unaware of our true nature? Let's dive into the science and explore this fascinating possibility. Nick Bostrom proposed three possibilities regarding advanced civilizations and simulations. First, civilizations could reach a point where they can create such simulations, but choose not to. Second, civilizations might never reach the technological sophistication required for such a feat. And finally, and perhaps most intriguing, it's possible that we are already living in a simulation. Bostrom argues that if even one civilization in the universe reaches the technological capacity and chooses to create simulations, the probability of us being in one becomes statistically significant. Think about it. If a civilization could create countless simulations, each containing billions of simulated beings, the number of simulated minds would vastly outnumber the real ones. From a purely statistical standpoint, the odds of any one consciousness being real become incredibly slim. Let's delve into the math a bit further. Imagine a civilization capable of creating 1 billion simulations, each containing 1 trillion simulated beings. That's a total of 10 to the power of 21 simulated minds. Even if only a tiny fraction of civilizations in the universe reach this level of technological advancement, the number of simulated minds would still dwarf the number of real ones. Some physicists have even attempted to calculate the probability of us living in a simulation. While these calculations are highly speculative, they suggest that the odds might be surprisingly high. One study, published in the journal Scientific American, estimated the probability to be around 50-50. Of course, these are just thought experiments. We don't have definitive proof that we're living in a simulation. But the math is certainly suggestive, and it raises some fascinating questions about the nature of reality. Beyond the mathematical probabilities, some scientists believe there might be clues within our universe that point towards a simulated reality. One such clue comes from the work of physicist James Gates. Gates discovered something astonishing while studying the equations of supersymmetry, a theory that attempts to unify all the fundamental forces of nature. Hidden within these complex equations, Gates found what appeared to be error-correcting codes. These codes are similar to those used in computer programming to ensure the smooth running of software. Could it be that these codes are evidence of a deeper computational layer underlying our reality? While Gates himself is cautious about drawing definitive conclusions, his discovery has fueled speculation that our universe might be more like a giant computer program than we realize. Another intriguing piece of the puzzle comes from the realm of quantum physics. Quantum mechanics, the study of the very small, is full of strange and counterintuitive phenomena. One of the most baffling is the observer effect. This principle suggests that the act of observation can influence the behavior of subatomic particles. In essence, particles exist in a state of superposition, meaning they can be in multiple states at once until they are observed. The act of observation collapses the wave function, forcing the particle into a definite state. This suggests that consciousness, or at least the act of observation, plays a fundamental role in shaping reality. Could this be a clue that our reality is responsive to our perception, like a sophisticated video game rendering the world around the player? It's a tantalizing thought that blurs the line between the physical and the simulated. If we are indeed living in a simulation, it begs the question, who created it, and for what purpose? While we can only speculate, it's interesting to consider the advancements in our own technology. Virtual reality is becoming increasingly immersive, and artificial intelligence is rapidly evolving. It's not inconceivable that at some point in the future, we might develop the capability to create simulations indistinguishable from reality. Simulations populated by artificial beings with consciousness and agency. If we reach that point, it would lend further credence to the idea that we ourselves might be living in a simulated universe. The pursuit of creating such simulations could also provide us with insights into the nature of consciousness and the very fabric of reality. After all, if we can create consciousness within a simulated universe, it would have profound implications for our understanding of our own existence. The simulation hypothesis raises some unsettling questions about free will. If our universe is indeed a simulation, does that mean our choices are predetermined? Are we merely following a script written by our simulators? Or do we have genuine agency, even within the confines of a simulated reality? Think of a video game. The characters within the game, known as non-player characters or NPCs, often follow pre-programmed scripts. Their actions are determined by the game's code. But the player, the one controlling the avatar, has the freedom to make choices and shape the course of the game. Are we like the player characters with a degree of autonomy within the simulation? Or are we more like the NPCs, our actions ultimately governed by the rules of the simulation itself? It's a question that philosophers and theologians have grappled with for centuries, and the simulation hypothesis adds a fascinating new dimension to the debate. Even if our universe is simulated, it doesn't necessarily mean that free will is an illusion. It's possible that the simulation is designed to give us the experience of free will, even if our choices are ultimately determined by the underlying code. Think about it. If you're playing a video game, you feel like you're making choices, even though your actions are ultimately controlled by the game's software. The simulation could be so complex, the code so intricate, that it creates the illusion of free will so convincing that we're unable to distinguish it from genuine agency. Our simulators could have programmed in randomness, unpredictability, and even the capacity for emergent behavior, making it impossible to predict our actions with certainty. In essence, the simulation itself could be so sophisticated that it transcends the limitations of its own programming, creating a space for genuine free will to emerge. Or perhaps our understanding of free will is flawed, and it exists on a different plane of existence altogether, independent of whether our universe is real or simulated. The simulation hypothesis, while mind-boggling, shouldn't fill us with existential dread. Whether our universe is real or simulated, our experiences are no less valid. Our joys and sorrows, our triumphs and failures, all hold meaning within the context of our existence. If we are living in a simulation, it's a testament to the incredible power and creativity of the minds that created it. It would mean that our universe is a product of intelligent design, a vast and intricate tapestry woven from code and data. But even if our universe is simulated, it doesn't diminish the awe and wonder we feel when we gaze upon a starlit sky or contemplate the vastness of the cosmos. The beauty and complexity of the universe, simulated or not, is a testament to the elegance and mystery of existence itself. Ultimately, the question of whether we live in a simulation might be unanswerable. But that doesn't mean we should stop asking it. The pursuit of knowledge and understanding is a fundamental part of the human experience. The simulation hypothesis, like any good scientific or philosophical inquiry, forces us to confront our assumptions about the nature of reality and our place within it. It encourages us to think critically, to question our perception of the world, and to embrace the unknown. And who knows, perhaps someday, through a combination of scientific discovery and philosophical insight, we'll finally unravel the mystery of our existence and determine whether we're living in the real world or a simulation so perfect that it's indistinguishable from reality. Until then, we can marvel at the wonders of the universe, both real and imagined, and continue to explore the boundless possibilities of existence. After all, the journey of discovery is just as important as the destination, and the search for truth is an adventure worth embarking on, whether we're living in a simulation or not. So, the next time you feel a sense of wonder while stargazing or experience a moment of déjà vu that makes you question the nature of reality, remember the simulation hypothesis. It's a reminder that the universe is full of mysteries, and that the more we learn, the more we realize we don't know. Keep asking questions, keep exploring, and keep looking up at the stars. for within those twinkling points of light might lie the answers to our most profound questions, including the ultimate question of our existence.